or in a bottle, any bottle, you can do such amazing art form. Okay, and absolutely no experience is required in doing this. It is because it is mainly cutting and pasting of the pictures or the images, but there is a tip and technique of doing this. That's what we'll be learning it today. Okay, few more. What I will do is I'll quickly turn my camera to the desk so that we can get started, right? Okay, are we all excited? Shall we begin with our decoupage class? Yes, okay. All right, so before we get into the decoupage thing, let's understand what do you mean by decoupage. Okay, just a little brief history about decoupage. Okay, this originated in 17th century in France. Yes, it is that old, but no, it is gaining much more popularity now. Okay, so decoupage art form. So maybe basically tell it as it's a French art since it originated in France. And again, since it is in France, so your word decoupage, it also comes from the French word découper, which means to cut out. Découper means cutting out. What are we actually cutting out is any paper. It could be any printout of your choice. You can work with any printout of your choice, or it could be any image from the magazine or books, whichever image that you like, or any family photo which you want to do it. But we don't take photo, we take a printout of it. Okay, or you do get these kind of decoupage tissues. So these are decoupage tissues which we get. These comes in various designs. Okay, so these are available for 25 to 40 rupees depending upon the design. You get these. Okay, so you can work with decoupage tissues, or you could work with any printout or any image cut out from the book or magazine, or you do get decoupage papers as well. The papers are also available. So whatever you do, whichever cutout you may take, the procedure is going to remain the same. Okay, fine. So basically we are decoupage. It's art wherein you are cutting out the paper, sticking them and applying a lot of varnishes. Okay, this is called tissue paper. Yes.
Is it comfortable that you can speak in both the languages?
You mean Hindi and English?
English, yes, yes.
Okay.
There are few people who are not able to understand Hindi, and there are few who can't understand English.
Okay.
If you can mix Hindi and English, like if you can speak in English.
Yes, sure. All right. So basically, so decoupage is a French art. So ये French art form है जिसमें you have to mainly take any printout of your choice. कौन सा भी printout ले लीजिए, या you get these kind of decoupage tissues. Okay, इसको decoupage tissues कहते हैं. This one also you get it in any craft store. I would always recommend Itsy Bitsy because they have beautiful designs. It's a craft store, or you can check in any stationery shop also. Nowadays, आजकल stationery shop also they have started keeping these decoupage tissues. Okay, it comes in various designs. Yeah, Itsy Bitsy because you have both physical store as well as online store bhi hai of Itsy Bitsy. Okay, where you will get all the decoupage ka materials. Okay, so it's basically cutting out of the paper and pasting it, but we need to paste it in such a way that it looks as though you have painted it. Okay, so yes, that is the trick that we will be learning today, right? So pasting of the papers kaise karna hai, what are the materials which will be required, I'll be teaching you. All right, so let's get started. The first thing or the first requirement that you would require for the decoupage art is a base. A base ka matlab, I mean, you can choose, if you have seen the materials required in the course content that I had given. So you can choose any base of your choice. The base could be any MDF base le lo. Yeah, you can take any bottle of your choice. Any bottle, it could be a Kisan Jam bottle, or it could be a milkshake bottle. Yeah, any bottle whichever you want to convert it into a beautiful art, you can use it. Okay, so any glass bottle bhi chalega, ya glass bowl le lo, yeah, you can take a glass plate. This is also decoupage art which I have done on a glass plate. Okay, so anything which is hard enough is good. Just avoid plastics mat lijiyega, because plastics, your art, whatever you're doing, it should be there. I mean, it should be something which does not come out or peel off easily, right? Plastics mein aisa nahi hota hai, because plastics does not take your art properly. Okay, it just peels off. So other than plastics, anything else is always good. You can also do it in steel ka dabba, which you get sweet ka dabba, ya chocolate ka box, tin box that you get, that also you can use. So anything which is hard enough, you can use it. Okay, you get a lot of different kinds of coasters, you get key holders, बहुत कुछ मिलता है ना in MDF. You do get MDF का box, I mean pen stand, right? So there are a lot of things that you get, and it looks great with it. Okay, so any choice, you can take any base of your choice, right? So today what I'm using is I'm using a name board. Okay, some of the name boards which I had done, there are various name boards that I've been doing for the class demo classes. Okay, here the name will be coming in. This also I did it in one of the bit class demo session mein, right? So the procedure remains the same, whether you're doing on an MDF board or you're doing on a glass bottle, the procedure remains the same. Just follow the same thing. Okay, whether you're doing on this or anything, you can even use a terracotta vase as well. Okay. ठीक है, चलो, let's get started. Okay, the first step is you would require acrylic paints. We will require acrylic paints. Ceramic cup has base, so yes, you can use that. The materials, name of the material, it is there in the course content. Okay, can you share the course material? Tanya, if you're there, if you can share the course course content, there is materials which is listed.
Okay, no problem. I am sharing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yes, all right. So by then she tells, so any base of your choice you can take, and the next thing you will require is acrylic colors. In acrylic colors, you get different sizes. You get this a bigger one, you get even this the smaller one, 90 rupees, or you can go with the still smaller one, it just costs you around 20 rupees. So for your decoupage, the main thing we would require is acrylic colors. Again, why acrylic colors? Because acrylic colors are multi-surface. Just like your decoupage, आप किसी भी surface में कर सकते हो, whether metal, terracotta, wood, canvas, किसी में भी कर सकते हो. The same way even acrylics also. इसलिए हमारे all for every decoupage के लिए you will require acrylic colors. ठीक है, no use of watercolors नहीं चलेगा या poster colors कुछ नहीं चलेगा. We require anything which mentions acrylic colors. ठीक है, you can even go with chalk paints also. Chalk paints be available here, you can use that, but since this is a beginner's class, I'm not telling more about the chalk paints or gesso. I don't want to complicate things, so just keep it simple. Any acrylic colors will do. ठीक है, camel का acrylic colors ले लीजिए. Anything that mentions acrylic colors is fine. ठीक है. Okay, so for the first thing would be, we would be covering the base, gesso also you can use. Yes, I do have white gesso. Yes, you can use white gesso as well. Okay, just keeping it aside. Okay, since it's a beginner's one, so I'm just doing with something simple which everybody gets it in any stationery shop, right? So the first thing would be taking the acrylic colors. It is always you're giving a base coat with white. Yes, you can do it on clay. Clay agar flat, clay maybe hota hai, but ensure it has a smooth, straight base. Okay, I'm just pouring directly on this. You can put it on your palette as well. I'm not just checking with the palette thing. Okay, this is a white acrylic color, and I'm just using a sponge and spreading it out. So this is my primer, okay? Priming it with white base coat. Giving a white acrylic base coat. Ye hamara. This is also called priming, meaning you're covering the surface with acrylic paint. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. You can even use brush, but brush mein kya hota hai na? You get a little a brush mark. So that's the reason I always prefer to use sponge. And sponge is jaldi, you can cover up the base also quickly. Since we have only 1 hour of class, jisme mujhe sab, no, I need to teach all the techniques. So just making it with sponge. Yeah, this is what I'm using right now. Is called as the sponge dauber. Sponge dauber, you get it in various shapes. I mean, sorry, in various sizes, bada, chota. You get a set of 4 or 5 of different sizes and shapes. This is also easily available in craft store or any stationery shop. These are called as sponge dauber. अगर ये नहीं है तो भी no problem. Go to hardware store. Hardware store में you get a big piece of sponge for 10 rupees. You just pluck a piece of sponge, do the dabbing. It's use and throw. Use a little and throw it. Bas. The sponge dauber kya hota hai? I can wash it again and I can over and over use the same thing. And since I do online class, I can with a piece of sponge, I actually make it a little messy, so I don't go to use the sponge. The sponge daubers are handy because आपका हाथ clean रहता है. Otherwise, in between the class, I will have to keep going to clean my hands. Okay, so the first base coat. So yes, this can be done on, is this wooden cardboard? Yes, it's an MDF base. It's a wooden one. इसको हम, you are unable to see the video. Is the video seen? Okay. Tanya, are you there? Is my video clear, everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Guys, please be responsive. Like, please respond in the chat box to what all ma'am is asking, because like you are the one who are learning here, so I can't respond on your behalf.
Okay, thank
Write
you.
it in the chat box. If you have any question, we will be addressing it here itself.
Okay, and one of the participants mentioned that they cannot see my video, so I was just wondering, is my video off? Okay, thank you, everyone. All right, so this is our first step. So first step would be take any MDF. This is any MDF base. Where do we use gesso? Instead of white acrylic paint, you can use white gesso. It's a base coat. हम लोग एक base coat डाल रहे हैं. Okay, this is our first step. So any base, if you take, whether you take a bottle also, the first thing will be dab with the white acrylic paint. Okay, so anything you take, the first thing will be dabbing with white acrylic paint. If not with white acrylic paint, you can go with white gesso also. ठीक है? Gesso is just thick paint. This is a new one I have not yet opened. Okay, it is also the same thing like your white, but it is a little thicker paint. You can just say it is thicker. Okay. All right, so this is done. So yeah, this is our first base coat which is done. I'll just keep it aside, let it dry. Till then, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, the next thing would be, okay, the next thing would be to what kind of papers. Okay, papers, as I already mentioned, you can take any printout of your choice, or you can take decoupage papers which are available in market. Okay, or you could take decoupage tissues or print out anything. Okay, what is the price of each item used? Okay, I'm telling accordingly, right? So glass bottle, whatever is there at your home, you can always use that. Acrylic paints, it comes for 20 rupees. A small bottle, it is for 20 rupees, which is available. And this one, the decoupage tissues, it's cost you around 25 to 40 rupees, depending upon the design. So each decoupage tissue all have these four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Paper, yeah, decoupage papers also you will get it in Etsy Bitsy. I told you, any craft store, they have online also. You can always do that. No, decoupage papers does not have to be thinned out. It is fine. Because most of the decoupage papers, it comes a little thinner than your regular printouts also. It is around 60 to, okay, I do not have it. So this is also decoupage paper only. It's around 60 GSM, 60 to 70 GSM. Okay, whereas your printout paper is around 100 GSM. Okay. Okay, so nothing to worry. So any paper is fine. Okay, any paper is fine. Just ensure that you are doing you're taking printout in a thinner paper as much as possible. Okay, because most of the stationery shop, they usually have color printout. They always give it in thick paper, but as them no, thick paper has thinner the paper. The normal paper what they give, that is just sufficient. And always go with the laser printout. Okay. Okay, the next thing is, all right, with respect to tissue paper, when you want the same paper, which paper? The Buddha one, you will get that also for in Etsy Bitsy. Buddha paper too, it's a printout that I have taken. Okay, next let's continue. So with the tissue, whatever, whether you take the tissue or you take the printout or anything, always observe with the background color, especially when you're using tissue. For example, let's say I want to use this tissue, the background has blue color, so my second base coat, abhi humne first base coat de diya hai, on this we have to go for second base coat. We need to go for second base coat, right? So second base coat will depend upon the tissue which we have selected. Okay, once again repeating, we have already given just first base coat. Now, after first base coat, we have to go with the second base coat. Second base coat ke liye, it will depend upon the tissue what you select. Okay, so in case, let's say I'm using this tissue. If I want to use this tissue, the background has blue color. So my second base coat will be blue color. Okay, so second base coat mera blue color hoga. Let's say if I am using this tissue, background is yellowish, so my second base coat will be yellow. Okay, so now it changes for everybody. The first base coat was white, the second base coat will depend upon the tissue which you select. Okay, let's say if I am first base coat, it's okay. It can be soft or rough, no problem, because anyways we'll be coming to the second base coat. Second base coat अच्छा से लगाना, ठीक है? Okay, so this is in case I'm planning to use this tissue. So again, this tissue has background. Can you tell me what color should I be using in case I'm using this tissue? Yes, I can either go with the sky blue. Okay, yes, blue. So whichever base coat we use, okay, yes, white, blue. Okay, so whichever base coat I use, we also, always ensure that your second base coat is the lightest tone that you use. Yani agar blue we are giving, it is always mixed with white. Okay, more of white and a little blue. So we make a lighter tone of. Yes, in case of multicolored, yes, that's a good question. In case of multicolored, let me show you something multicolored one. Okay, in case I am using this one, it will be yellow. In case I am using, okay, let's say, okay, whenever you have something like multicolored, let's say something like this, you have so many colors. When you are in confusion, whenever there is multicolored, you can always go with second base coat of white. Okay, whenever you have any confusion, always go with the second base coat of white. If it is clear what is if it is clear which one is the background that you would be doing, then you can just go with the same. Most of the tissues have the same common color. Either it will be blue, yellow, red. Okay, blue, yellow, red. So anything you can use. In case of confusion, whenever you are in confusion, just go with second coat as white. Okay, one more thing, in case you have white, white, when you have a decoupage paper with white as the background, you can always play with the little colors. You can go with light yellow color or light pink color. Okay, you always have freedom when you have white. Okay, so when you have white, you can always, yes, you can definitely make your artwork waterproof. We'll come to that at the end. Let's just get started, right? Okay. So even when you have something like white, you can always play with some colors. You can always go with the second base coat has light yellow color or light blue color. Yeah. All right. So let's get started. Maybe for this one, what I would do. Okay, for today's class, let me use, what shall I use for today's class? One minute, I'm just checking which one should we be using. Okay, let me take the picture of this girl. For my, okay, since I am planning to use this, see color, okay, so I just thought, let me use this, the girl here. We'll just go with the girl here because it can be used as a nameplate. So I'll just go with this. Okay, see, paper print and all, it is easy, because you have to just apply and paste it. Okay, tissues have a little work, so I'll be using, I will be telling you with the tissue, because once you learn how to do with the tissue, doing it with any print or any print is just super easy. All right, so we'll just go with this. This is a tissue paper. I just have this one. No, because all the other ones are little bigger in size. So other ones are bigger in size. So I will not be able to use that for the board because the board is small. According to that only I have to use. See, the reason I'm not using the bottle is, bottle takes time for drying. That's the reason I'm not using the bottle. This will not be fine. Okay, I'll just go with this one. Okay, I'll just go with this one. Fine. So this one has white background. So my second base coat also will be white. Okay, I could have played with little colors, but here niche there is blue color because the water is here. So I do not, I'll just go with the simple light white. Okay, I'll be going with the second base coat has also white. Let me check if I have any other thing which will go onto this. Okay. Okay, this will also be fine. Okay, this house will also be fine. Okay, so I'll just go with this. So let me go with the light blue color. Okay, I am changing my tissue, so I'll be going with this one. Okay, because this is small enough and this will properly suit the picture also. Okay, so I'm going with this birdhouse. Okay, birdhouse, since it has the background has blue, so background has blue, so I'll be going with the blue paper, blue shade. Okay, so let me quickly get the blue shade. I don't have a blue shade here. I feel blue. 1 second. Okay, I'm just going with the sky blue color. The first base coat, no, if you're using bottle, in case you're using glass bottle, ensure that it is completely dry and then only you start it, okay? Right now I'm, since it's a MDF board, it just dries, it's already dry. In case you're using bottle, at least give 20 to 25 minutes drying time. Okay, again, I'm putting white. I'm going to use this tissue. I'm going to use this tissue. The tissue has background has blue. So I'll be using blue. This light blue. So whenever you're doing the second base coat also, always the lighter tone as possible. Okay, I'm not using direct blue. It is mixing with white. Since it's a name board, I feel but the birdhouse will be good. Okay, whether you're doing blue or white or sorry, pink or yellow, anything, always mix it with lot of white. Okay, so mixing it with lot of white. So always your second base coat also should be as light as possible. Okay, so giving a base of white. Give a nice thick coat of your second coat. And always the lightest tone as possible. Yes, you can use even color bottle also, but lighter the color bottle, it is better. Plastics, I wouldn't suggest plastics because it will just get peeled off. Because even your paints also comes in this one plastic mein agar karne jaoge na, it will start peeling something like this. Okay, because acrylic colors also doesn't hold on plastic. So don't use plastics. So other than plastic, as I mentioned, anything is fine. Other than plastic, anything is fine. Okay, metal, terracotta, wood, canvas, anything it is fine. But plastics mein mat karo. Because you don't want your whatever art you have done to peel off like this. Okay, so I have given my second base coat also. Let it dry. See, as much as possible, try to avoid plastics. अगर आपको वो plastic ही use करना है, then there are different ways of doing it. Since we have shortage in time, so I'm not going to talk much in detail about plastics. Plastics we can definitely use, but different one. Okay. I will need at least half an hour to just talk only about plastics. Plastics को कैसे prepare करना है. Okay, so I'm not getting into that. Fine. Okay, since it's a basic class, so let's we'll just go something which is normal. Okay, plastics avoid karo, or you have so many other things, right? Okay. Yeah, the flower pots also we can do it, but it comes in the advanced class. So let's not get into so complicated one because अभी मुझे explain करने में बहुत time लग जाएगा about the plastics. Because doing with plastics we can do, but there are a lot of things that gets involved with because you need to prepare the plastic in different way. Right. Okay. So my second base coat, you're not able to hear? Okay. Yes. Okay. So the second base coat we have done. Now, next thing is about your what voice is not there, Nidhi? It's audible. Okay. Thank you so much, Ramya. Okay. So let's get started. So this is the tissue which I thought I will be using. Okay. White tissue. Why am I not using any printouts? Is see printouts. Yeah. Anything you do, it is easy. Okay. You have to just cut with the scissor and pasting it. Okay. Thicker in that okay, magazines if you are using you can always do sanding. Backside को आप sand कर सकते हो. You can sand it a little so that it becomes thinner. Okay, you can sand it at the backside. Okay, वो एक कर सकते हो. Otherwise you can just ensure that whatever picture you are taking, you are cutting it properly with your scissors. ठीक है. Okay, tissues are a little different to use. That's the reason no, it is a little difficult, tricky part. So I am showing you how to use the decoupage tissues. The cutting out of the any image of your size, just take the scissor and cut it and paste it. This is just cut and paste when you have to do with printouts or any picture of your choice. Okay. So let me show you how to use the tissues. Okay, tissues are a little tricky because you get a lot of wrinkles and other things. So we will learn a little difficult one. Yes. So we will like to learn something difficult or easy one. Difficult, right? Okay. So yes. So we'll start with this. Okay. So for tissue paper, any tissue paper you have, you mainly have four in one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, Sania, both. Definitely once you learn, know how to use the tissue, even printouts also you will get to know because both is the same. Okay. Tissues have a little extra step. That's it. Tissues have an extra step that I will be telling you in a few minutes. Okay, so any tissue you have 4 prints like this. So so एक tissue paper में you can do 4 different projects. ठीक है? 4 projects you can do. Like if you see this, ये tissue मैंने यहाँ पे use किया. This tissue I used for bottle. I used for the, the canvas board. Okay, so you can mainly do it for many various designs, various bases. Okay, in this it shows 2, and I will just go with just one of it. Okay, when you have to cut this, whenever you have to tear it, you always go with what tissue. Okay, I'm just showing in this. I've just kept the painted one a little that side. So I'm just thought I will be using this part. Ye wala I will not be taking. I'll be just using this, and it is just good enough. It is the proper size actually of it. So I'm not doing. Yes, definitely you can do it on MDF coaster. This is the MDF coaster. It's an MDF coaster which I've done. Okay, this is almost the same size of it, so I don't have to do much about it, no cutting of it. It's the correct size. Only here, this part I will be tearing. This part I will have to tear. So what I will do is, yes, you can use it on canvas board. This one I used it on the canvas board itself. This is a canvas board. This is a canvas board which I've used. Okay, so coming to this, when you have to use the tissues, you always use plain water, dip it in, mark wherever you want to cut it. Mark wherever you want to cut or tear and tear it. When you wet it, it becomes easier to tear. After the second coat, I have kept it for drying. So it is drying right now. Okay, till then I'm showing you. Scissor, see for decoupage tissue, we don't suggest scissors. Because it's the tissue that you will be using. Yahan pe to you cannot do the cutting like that, no? Okay, so we always go for this fuzzy cutting. Ye upar ka bhi it is not proper, so I'm just tearing it off. Always avoid these straight cuts. Okay, always avoid these straight cuts. Because straight cuts, whenever you have, you feel it feels like you have cut and pasted it. So as much as possible, no, the uneven cuts are always better for tissues. Just wet your tissue. Just going with the uneven cuts. Let it be uneven. Has the more the uneven is, no printout may no uneven cuts. It's only in tissues that we give uneven cuts. For printouts, always use scissor and try to tear as close as possible to the picture. Okay, here this edges I'm not cutting. I'm not tearing. I'm not tearing here. It is because this will come to my edge only, where I want the straight cut. Okay, I want to have the straight cut, so I'm not doing anything here. Okay, here I am not, since it's the straight cuts here, I am not doing anything. Okay. Okay. So the next thing. Okay, so once I know this is proper, then I remove the layers. Okay, every tissue has layers. Every tissue, this is the only in decoupage tissue you have layers. And most of them have 2 layers. Okay, this is the first layer which I have removed. And this is the second layer. Okay, be very gentle. Say, remove it. Okay, this is my second layer. The first layer, second layer. So how will you know whether you have removed the layers? Is no, that becomes so thin. It becomes so thin. So no, the front, whatever the image is there, you should be able to. It should be visible backside also. That means you have removed the layers. Okay. For printouts, just use directly scissors and cut it out. Okay. For tissues, I would always suggest, until unless you are doing the edges, unless you're working on the edges, so let it be. Rest all you can do the fuzzy cutting. Okay. Right. Now, next thing is to paste this. Now we have got it, or any, whether we have got the tissue or we have got the printout, anything. So how, next what? Okay, whether you have removed the tissue or you have the printout, the next thing will be sticking it. For sticking, you get, you get either this Deco Magic, which is matte finish, or you get gloss finish. Anything that mentions decoupage glue is good. Anything that mentions decoupage glue. So decoupage glue, this is again Itsy Bitsy ka brand, Little Birdie ka, which you get either gloss finish or you get matte finish. Gloss is, it gives shine. Just like my project. Okay, it gives a gloss, a shiny. Okay, it gives a shiny one. When you apply, after it dries, it gives a gloss effect, that is shine is seen, and you have the matte finish. It costs you some 60, this is 220 rupees. This is a big one. This is of 200 ml, I guess. You get a smaller one of 65 rupees also. Okay, छोटा वाला भी मिलता है. This I have been using for more than 2 years. ये खत्म नहीं होता है, because you require very little less amount of glue, right? So just invest in a small quantity. This is a big one which I have. Or other than this, you also get Mod Podge. Anything that mentions Mod Podge or the decoupage glue is good enough. Okay, so either with this or with this, anything you can do. Okay, you get gloss finish or you get matte finish. Matte finish में इसमें कुछ shine नहीं रहता है, no? You like if you are trying to give rustic look or some old kind of antique look, that time you can go with the matte. Mod Podge, this one, the Fevicryl one, it is 150 rupees. Fevicryl one is 150 rupees. You will require very little quantity of this. Okay. So you get Mod Podge of various brands also. You can go with anything. So anything which mentions decoupage glue is fine. Okay, this is for decoupage crafts. Anything with that is fine. Okay. All right. So the next thing. Okay, now so we have to do the pasting part. Okay, before we actually get into the pasting part, let me quickly dry my base, because until unless your base is completely dry, you cannot do it. Okay, you can naturally dry it as well. Right now, since we do not have time, I am quickly and just do with a heat gun. This is heat gun, or you have hair dryer, anything. I'm going to use this part, just apply more after this. Yeah, hair dryer भी use कर सकते हो, no problem. Okay, yeah, it is dry, and now next is pasting it. Yes, you can do printout. Yes, you need that big base, A4 size ka base. Yes, you can do it. Okay, I'll just make the placement. Use my decoupage glue. It is always the glue you need to put it on the base. Okay, your glue should be applied onto the base, whether on bottle or anything, whichever you use, never on the tissue. It should always be on the bottle. Sorry, on the base that you're taking, whether the glass plate or anything that you take. And gently place it. Just apply a very thin coat, because the tissue is very super thin. Always a little, just a little application of glue is just sufficient. Yeah, because it's just cutting and pasting. Yeah.
Ma'am, can we use Fevicol for this?
Yeah, coming to that, 1 second. Let me just finish this part of gluing. Take any plastic sheet and just smoothen it out. This helps the wrinkles, if any wrinkles is formed, or excess of glue also gets removed. So this side also this way. Since I applied it this side, so I'll be doing this way, smoothen it out so that the excess glue or any wrinkles formed will not be there. Very important to always have a plastic sheet handy. Okay, since it's glue, so it will be sticky. So don't go to do it with your hand. This is a procedure of getting a wrinkle-free decoupage look. The wrinkle should not be visible. Otherwise, it becomes clear that you have stuck something. So it should be neat and clean. Okay. Yes, Fevicol you can, yeah, instead of Mod Podge, if you do not have Mod Podge, you can definitely use Fevicol. Fevicol you can use in the ratio of 1:1. That is 1 cap of 1 lid of Fevicol. If you take the same 1 lid of water, you will take and mix it, and that you can use as a as your decoupage glue. Right, so it is Fevicol, Fevicol MR, the normal 10 rupees color, that one also you can use. It is 1:1 ratio. That is the amount of Fevicol that you use, mix it with the same amount of water. Okay, same ratio lena hai. Ek part of Fevicol agar liye to 1 part of water. This also gives, Fevicol also gives gloss finish, not matte. Fevicol also gives you a gloss finish, shine deta hai. Okay, the reason I didn't use it is because it takes its own sweet time to dry. Okay, Fevicol hai na? So, but this Mod Podge gets dried very quickly. So that's the reason I prefer doing with the Mod Podge. Yeah. Okay, so this is almost done. Let it dry for some time. Okay, a few minutes, let it dry. Otherwise, abhi kuch karne jaoge, because we need to do the blending part also. Okay, I think till then, Tanya, if you can take over, you can tell them about the master class, and then we will, we'll continue it a little later.
Sure.
Let them try.
Okay. So guys, how was the session till now? Don't worry, guys, it's not yet over. We are having
Not yet over.
so many details to be shared. Like it's just trying. So I have just come to interrupt everyone. So how is the session till now? Great. So guys, was the session useful, knowledgeable, and also simple to understand? Can you please repeat the procedure? Yes, Drew ma'am will be. Okay, great. So don't worry, guys. I already mentioned that it's not yet over. So regarding all your questions, we are having a Q&A round in the end. So we will be coming on all the questions which you all are having, as well as the completion of this particular artwork. Okay. So guys, how many of you agree to my this point that learning this decoupage is not just an easy task. We can't cover everything in just 1 hour of class. That is the reason we require more such kinds of in class. How many of you require and how many of you agrees to my this point that we can't cover everything in just one class? Okay. Great. So without wasting anyone's time, without wasting even a single minute and breaking anyone's interest, I am quickly sharing my screen for everyone present here. Okay. So guys, like I already mentioned, ma'am, can you please confirm whether my screen is visible or not?
Yes, it is visible now.
Okay. So guys, like I already mentioned that we can't cover everything in just 1